Teachers in California are suing education administrators over policies they say require them to deceive parents about their children's gender identity. From our most recent Fox polling, basically half of parents surveyed viewed transgender policies and parents not having any say into what's happening in schools as a, quote, major problem. Watch.
We should have policies in place that are, transparent, respect parents, and allow them to know what these policies are when it impacts their children.
Yeah, you think? Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vic Bajaj. Vic, it's great to have you on as always. I want to read part of the lawsuit because this is important. Those new policies force teachers in a student's social transition by using any pronouns or a gender-specific name requested by the student during school while reverting to biological pronouns and legal names when speaking with parents in order to actively hide information about their child's gender identity from them. Can you imagine your child is being given a different name in school, addressed a different way, and you have no idea about this?
Well, let me take all of those words and just distill it down a bit through a sifter here. And what I'd say is lie to the parents because a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old boy or girl says something about how they may feel, whether it's permanent or temporary. But you must lie to the parents. You can't entrust raising the children to the parents. That's for the school to do. It's a frightening thought.
It is, and William LaJeunesse covered this story earlier for us, and he was pointing out that, they have to send permission slips home if you want to give your kid an aspirin.
That's right.
They've got to send, you want to go on a field trip, you have to have parents' permission. But if you are in the process of transgendering, we're going to hide this from the parents.
That's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head, Trace, and there's no other way to slice it or dice it. That's exactly what's happening. Drop your kids off, and the kids have to be protected from the parenting.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line of the lawsuit. In the federal complaint, it's very clear that the district, the Escondido School District, is saying we can't tell the parents because of some amorphous harm that may come their way from the parents. Let's forget about what may happen in society.
Meantime, the parents of Ethan Chapin, he's one of the students who was murdered in the University of Idaho in that mass killing, is speaking out. Listen to the mom, and we'll bring the rest of the legal aspect up.
We just walked it out, talked, told stories, cried. One day I was out walking by myself. I was crying so hard. It was just whatever. And I happened upon somebody, and I thought they were going to call 911 on me. But I'm just like, it's okay. I just having a moment.
I mean, you imagine the heartache of those parents, and we now learn that Brian Koberger's attorneys want to talk to the surviving roommate, Bethany Funk. Is it fine? Is it not fine? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, when we talk about the rights of criminally accused and the rights of victims, if we just heard from some of the victims' family members there, it's a real tight wire act. It's a real balancing act. Now, let's not forget there is a presumption of innocence. Sure. He has a right to due process. So if this individual is a percipient witness in some way, shape, or form, every right to try to act. Doesn't mean the witness has to answer unless called to testify at trial, but you have a right to put on your defense. So unfortunately, the victims may have to deal with that.
Meantime, quickly, the teacher who got shot should get no more than workers' comp. Quoting here, the Virginia School District, where a 6-year-old student shot his first-grade teacher earlier this year, has filed documents asking a court to throw out the $40 million lawsuit, arguing that with her injuries, she is only entitled to workers' compensation.
Well, workers' compensation, when did that come about? Early 1900s in a response to the Industrial Revolution. We don't want small business owners to be put out of business because of injuries on site. It stops the country's progress. It's in the scope of work. It's at the location of work. The argument by the school district may actually hold water in this case, and workers' comp may be the only way they can have recourse.
It just seems like on its face that when you have a kid that shoots a teacher, that there would be a little bit more than workers' comp in this thing.
As against that defendant, yes, but there are other defendants, maybe some parenting issues, maybe some other influences, maybe some negligence in providing the gun at certain places, but workers' comp sets the bar when it comes to workplace activity.
It's a fascinating case.
It is.
Vic Bajaj, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.